What's going on? It's the Tom Carlson Show for Tuesday, October 6th, 2020. Shooting out the hip more than usual. This is the second time in the last 20 minutes that I have started this podcast. Yeah, kind of freewheeling it more today than normal. Not that I really prepare for a show in general, but yeah, a lot of travel recently, like 600 miles in 5 days. But really only in 4 days because I drove up and back. I just got back from Boston. I went up there for work, and we're doing the podcast because we're doing it on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is for the Tom Carlson Show. I am bringing the energy. I am not bringing the hydration. I think I've had one bottle of water, and I started the day with a little bit of Diet Coke. Then I had a coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, because we were in the North Shore there, in outside of Boston, and then I had, let's see, a little bit of water maybe, and then the rest of the Diet Coke, and then I drove for 5 hours back from Boston to New York and didn't really drink anything. And then I just got back and I was like, we're doing the fucking podcast. And we're on Red Bull number 2 for the show. We're on number 2 because the goddamn my amazing computer fucked up. But I hope it was the computer, not me, because actually, I'd rather be me fucking up, because then I would have more faith in my operation here. But we'll have the regular camera back next week. Somehow I ended up leaving a power cord in Idaho, and I got that ordered. So it's fucking fall, man. And for the YouTubers out there, for my 6 or 7 YouTube followers, you like the hat? It's the Breakers, Palm Beach, baby, Epstein locale. Billionaires Row. I didn't go down there, but I got a hat from there. It was given to me. I didn't order one from there. How bad would that be? Jesus. Yeah, what's going on? I hope you got everything you wanted to do in the summer done, because it's fall and it feels like fall. It's cool here in New York. Today was pretty nice. Like high 70 here. In Boston it was felt like it was 30 degrees. But dude, summer's over, man. I'm already white, and kind of digging in for a couple of months here to grind out some work weeks. Hopefully, maybe see where things end up from hitting any spots. But I was like, Tuesdays, we're gonna make it happen. I've been driving all day. It is so. How many of you listening are like, I know, like are very sure you are a good driver? Because this might be part of the problem. Okay. I see most of the hands are up in the back. All right. So let me make sure the camera's working, because this thing shuts off again. I'm fucking calling it a night. Dude, unfortunately, so the way I drove up, you people not familiar with the Northeast, I drove up. I had to get my car, Jersey City. I drove up mostly 84. Let's see what it is. Yeah, see, they got an 84 here too. I mean, I grew up in Idaho. Freeway right there, I-84. They got one here too. I guess it's so far away that it doesn't matter. All right, Boston, Mass. So my business partner, aka my boss, is got a super great Boston accent. And we first night we went up. Well, we got dinner out there, and it was good Italian. I liked it. I had special ravioli with 2 meatballs Okay, directions. We were in the North Shore, but basically you get there the same way. All right. And I went out around to start things. So I didn't go straight up. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Get on to I went up through Hartford. And then keep going up past Manchester, Worcester. And then you just keep on going up. But I came down because we were kind of going towards the South Shore at the end of the day looking at projects. And drove down through Providence and down along the coast back into the city. It took a little over 4 hours to get back today because there was traffic at the bridge. But I was like, how many people think they're actually good drivers? You would imagine with the narcissism is I don't people say narcissism is a unique thing. I feel like everyone can be narcissistic to a point. But so everyone's probably thinks they're a decent driver. If you think you're a bad driver, you honestly think that and you are aware of it, good for you. But the amount of brake tapping on the road today made me, my foot is sore. I have boots on. I'm flying in the left lane, trying to get back. Trying to, I see the Google Maps all right, it's going to take you, you're going to get there at 7:57. So I'm all right, I got to, it's a competitive thing. You keep looking at that thing, you drive 90 miles an hour. You're like, dude, it's dropping. And you're like, if I drive 100 miles, if I drive 130 miles an hour, I can get home in an hour. And so that's kind of what is the thought is. And then, East Coast shit, coming into these cities, I left there around 2, but it's just fucking traffic the whole way. And the amount of brake tapping, you should not just tap your brakes. And God, I got such a random text. My bodega guy's texting me to go back to the store because the guy that rung me up, I had never seen before, and it came out to $30, and he accidentally put in 3 and was like, "Oh shit!" And he kind of was just like, "You're a neighborhood guy, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, just I was like, "All right, I'll tell Tony in the morning." And then he just texted me. He's like, "Dude, can you go back to the store and pay?" It's like, dude, come on, man. It's not my problem. I will pay, but I'm doing a goddamn podcast. The amount of brake tapping, god damn it. I will say, a lot of cops in Massachusetts. Nowhere else. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know. Aggressive drivers here, yeah, great and everything, but the fucking brake tapping is it's gonna set me over the edge one of these days, because that fucks the whole system up. When we're cruising, you have enough space in front of you, or you should be allowing enough space. Have the reflexes, man. Have some reflexes. That should be part of the driver's ed school. Can you? You see a light flash, how quickly can you tap? Some people out there need different rules. Tom 2020. Some people out there need different rules. In general, not just for driving. But we'll start with that. And, so other than that Boston trip, god damn, man, I have been going all over the place. So this past weekend, doing some road gigs, man. Went up to Boston, went up to Plattsburgh, New York, got some spots. I wish, but I did do all the traveling. I went to Dutchess County, New York, over the weekend, and went to this chic, well, not necessarily chic, but kind of hidden little gym thing that's kind of hard to find, where you go stay at a farm and eat really good food and breathe. That was, it was great to get out of the city, because when I'm in the city, I'm in the city. I don't have anywhere to go. I stay here and inhale the toxins, inhale the COVID, inhale the pollution. We got clusters coming up. all over the place. Cuomo's trying to shut people down. People are saying they'd rather get arrested and go to jail than stop working, which, I fucking get. Gonna be a fun fall, guys. Gonna be a fun fall. Hope you got everything done that you wanted to get done in the summer. But we went up to this really cool, like, organic farm thing that obviously I did not find. And, it's cool. You get out there. It's like 180, that's what I was guessing, about 180 acres of, like, former, like, elite horse training facility. And, I had just never seen the foliage. So, foliage. I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. I'll do that. And it was cool getting out there. Like, so I'd never seen really foliage out west. There's no foliage. It's just pine trees. They call my hometown, my home city. You get offended when I call it a town nowadays. You always call it your hometown, though, right? Yeah, my hometown. It's called the City of Trees. Boise. It's all this French shit. That's who founded Boise. French fur traders / trappers. My junior high was called Les Bois. The Les Bois Lesbos. That was the hit at the time. I wonder if they still do that, or if it doesn't. It's not as much of a diss nowadays. It's probably not. And there, it's called the City of Trees. That's literally what it's called. My parents are from the South, and let's make sure the camera's working, baby. Yes. If this one fails, we'll just do back to back. Repeated intros and call it good. But it's all like planted trees. Basically, you had these fur traders in like southern Idaho, anywhere from like, people think Colorado's rocky and shit. They have like one chain of mountains that go through it, and that's it. And it's like 13 more miles to. I just did the Dumb and Dumber. You think Colorado would be a lot more mountainous than it is, but it's very, it's, and then you go out further west than that, like 13 hours more to Boise, and it's just like high desert and like no water. So these guys are like parched. They come over this horizon and they go les bois, and it said, and that means in French the trees, because there was a river. The Boise River, and obviously you have the river big enough, like you have some trees on it. But everywhere else is fucking high desert sagebrush and the City of Trees. So really didn't have any foliage growing up. So and in the South, like there's a lot of pine trees down there too. So it was great to get up there. Had a great weekend. And then, man, come back Sunday, turned it around, head up to Boston. So we are back running on, what do they say? Running on flumes, but running pretty good. Feel pretty good. So saw Dr. Fauci has a book coming out, and I really hope he's getting most of the money from this, because it's by some guy named Michael Spector. And I can't think of a bigger cash grab than to drop this right before the election. Like, I got to start thinking like this. So next time there's like, maybe, okay, next election I will be 34. Maybe we put this in the memory bank. I go to take some writing classes. Maybe a journalism credit here or there. And I start writing a book on someone who, what do you think will be the next? I mean, it could be another virus, maybe a war. I can interview a general, how things are going. Well, I don't even need to interview him. I'll just, write about him. I think you can do that as well these days. So, yeah. And I was writing down notes for like what I was going to do with the show today. I was trying to do that, speaking to Siri while trying not to get in an accident, because, you know, you look at your Google Maps thing there, and you're like, all right, you're gonna arrive at 6:45 p.m. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna arrive at fucking 6:20. And if I drive, then you look at it, you're like, all right, I got 100 miles more to go. I apologize, folks, if I already said this. I can't remember if I said this on this one or the last one, 25 minutes ago. But yeah, I have the thought. It's like, dude, I can drive 90 miles an hour and get home in 50 minutes. And then it just never works out. But, the amount of just shit drivers out there it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter where you go. The Northeast, at least people are driving fast. I do appreciate that. But the amount of brake checking, like I said, my foot is sore. And that just gunks the whole system up. So what you do, folks, you gas it, you gas it, you gas it. Go, go, go. Drive as fast as you want. Don't be that swerving asshole. Just drive fast. And if you're hanging out in the left lane, someone's coming up on you, fucking pull over, dude. It's not like we're trying to be assholes, but you're not supposed to be in the left lane going slower than me. So pull over. It's all good, bro. And let people who got somewhere to be fucking go by you. And, give yourself enough space. Have the reaction thing. Have the, what we need for driver's ed. We need the button where it flashes, people do the reaction time, and based on that, there are certain limitations of what you're allowed to do in a car. I think that's something that needs to be looked into. Not like there's nothing else going on. And it was cool to get up to Boston, see the projects I have going on up there, and I got to interact a little bit with some of the subs up there. We're in the North Shore and the South Shore. In the North Shore yesterday, and then South Shore today, driving around these quaint little villages. And, anywhere you go, for the most part, because I have been doing construction for 10 years, and depending on how well this podcast, depending on whether or not you listeners keep on keeping on and tell your friends to listen, I'll be doing construction another 10 years. But no matter where you go, especially, if it's an opposite state, like these construction guys are so sure that they are the best ones out there. This Boston guy may have had a point that these New Jersey kids that were coming up and doing this shit, they were fucking just out of their mind. They're not running a project correctly. It's like, yeah, you get they're not from Massachusetts. They're not from Massachusetts, dude. They don't know how fucking construction works. And it's been interesting. I was curious to see how it would go coming out from out west to here. I like the field guys in the Northeast more. They're smarter. And I think that's probably because there's more union, even if they're not in a union, but knowledge is, it's more, even if it's just through osmosis, it seems like I can get better answer out of the field guy here than out west. Out west is odd. It's like much more cowboy culture with like a guy that's on his fourth company. Big fucking cowboy kind of dude, especially if he's from Utah. I don't know what is going on down there. But you have these huge fucking guys. And then they just try to like physically intimidate you almost on site. They're just huge guys, huge trucks. I mean, construction guys here, some money don't have cars. Or if they do, it's like a car. It's not a giant fucking truck. So, Yeah, I've worked in, let's see, what states and areas have I worked in? I've worked in Portland, Seattle, Sacramento, San Diego, Los Angeles, Dallas, Fort Worth, Denver, Salt Lake, Boise, Louisiana, Lafayette, and Nevada and Arizona. And I've actually never worked in Montana. I just went up there to do some bid stuff. But yeah, been an interesting, you know, difference in seeing that. And you know, if I can't get on stage anytime soon, you know, this podcast might as well turn into the construction podcast, which would be terrible. Which would be terrible, almost as terrible as the LinkedIn stories. I couldn't believe that. I shit on LinkedIn. What was it 2 weeks ago? And the next week they come out with stories. I cannot wait to see. Well, you know what? Let's check it out. Let's see who's on. Okay, let's see. LinkedIn. Where is it? Here we go. Let's see if any of my people I follow are updating. There's one. I don't know why I follow this guy. Oh God, it's so bad. This guy, I don't know who this guy is. Christian Heine or something. Posted a photo of his office. Can't be doing that, man. Yeah, I was shitting on LinkedIn, and what I was seeing on there, 2 weeks ago? Next thing you know, I come out with fucking stories. Anyways, oh, made it back to the city. You know, I did see. You know, when we went up to, I was thinking I was going to see a lot more. I did drive by. You know, going up through the Northeast, there's just all kinds of tiny little towns. You got, you know, water. I mean, tons of them. And there's a little offshoots here and there, and more Biden-Harris signs than the Trump signs, at least here. We did see this huge truck in Statsburg that was like Trump to the max, which was kind of cool to see, actually. I do like those people that are that into Trump. I just saw some guy on Twitter today. He's got his son drawing this thing for, like, his son's in like third grade, and he's saying, so, you know, Joey's favorite president made this, and it was like get better, you know, my King Trump sort of shit. Like, who was doing that to their kids, man? Was anyone doing that to JFK? I don't know. You know what I else don't know? Apparently, how to gamble took a pretty big hit. So I came into the season this fall with 5 units. If you're into betting, units is just whatever amount of money you like to put out on one unit. You know, let's say you put in $50. Your units, in that case, like, I would probably bet around with, like, in that way, like, you know, $5-10 on a game. So, like I said, unit. So I came in with 5 units and got up almost like, you know, like 15-20% on that first weekend, and then all the way back. I only have 4 units left. So, and you know, this last time I was betting more just to, like, be entertained and have something to watch, as opposed to, like, actually trying to gamble. But I am super happy. Let's see what the Lakers Heat. Very proud of Jimmy Butler for you know, kind of staying, you know, making his image even that much more of just like a badass winner kind of guy. That's always what I thought of him. I always thought of him as like a super hard worker. His childhood story is incredible. And we'll see. I think Heat Lakers tonight's like Heat plus 7.5. And I don't know if is Dragic gonna play. Goran Dragic. Heat's Adam Bam Adebayo to play. Okay, that's huge. Dragic is out, though. And I don't know what Bam's... he's got a shoulder thing going on. Wow, dude. Goran Dragic is 34 years old. How long ago? You know what? I remember when he first came into the league. He was with the Suns, backing up Steve Nash, I believe. Isn't that great? So proud of Jimmy. Hope he can do something tonight, but I think he's going to get worn out, and the Lakers are probably pissed. LeBron needs to... LeBron felt like he needed to wear a Kobe shirt tonight, so if anything, he's going to be winning for that. Not, come on, man. Was very happy to see the Texans get rid of Bill O'Brien, because when I saw Deshaun Watson sign that Deshaun Watson sign that extension earlier this year, I was like, dude, what are you doing? And so maybe him and the gang got together and were like, all right, we like hanging out in Houston, pretty good spot to be, and but we hate this coach, so let's just go 0-4. We're gonna get Romeo Crennel. We're gonna run this thing back. So goodbye to Bill O'Brien. Should have been fired 2 years ago. Deshaun should be on a different team, and we'll see where it goes. But that poor dude's stuck there for like another 4 years now. I mean, can't feel too sorry for him making that kind of bank, but I know he would like to win. And I was discussing, if I'm not already all over the place, we're jumping around back and forth, and I'm blaming that on the first one not recording properly. So the construction podcast, which will never be, because I'd rather kill myself. But if you go on my podcast hosting platform, you can see like where your ranking is and everything. Obviously, I'm way up there at the top, but there are some that are ahead of me, and so I need you guys. And if I already said this one, I'm gonna be in trouble. But let's see. Let's check out the Podomatic. Come up with some other ones. So we've got there's house music podcasts ahead of mine. We got Keeg's Colorblind podcast, and that thing jumped up quick. I'm doing pretty good, for appreciate the listens and downloads, people. Keep it coming. Tell your friends. But, there are house music podcasts that are killing it. Oh, but what more than me? This is Jesus Christ. How many house podcasts could there be? Seems a little bloated, but this guy's got Keeg's Colorblind podcast. So this guy's either got a podcast on being colorblind, which, I know sometimes I don't have like the, greatest takes and stuff, but I feel like it's, if anything, you can laugh at me, and being unprepared for a show. But what do you listen to with Keeg's Colorblind Cut? Or even worse, it's Keeg's Colorblind podcast that, go listen to it. I'm just making assumptions based off a title. So maybe he's not seeing race. I don't know. Tell your friends to listen to the show, and it won't turn into the construction podcast. God for fucking bid. I did see over the weekend. I watched the movie Devil All the Time, and you'll like it if you're into slow burn, because it takes a while and it's over 2 hours, but it's a pretty good movie. It's on Netflix. It's 50s, 60s, West Virginia, Ohio border, and just like bad shit going on there. Some good actors in there, and I thought it was worth a watch. But the main thing I was watching this weekend was see if old Donnie T was gonna kick the bucket, dude. I was not shocked that he got COVID. I was kind of surprised it took this long, to be honest. Actually, what I assumed was he was just not wearing a mask everywhere that had cameras, and then in his private time he was wearing masks because he knows he's not in great shape. He knows he's fat ass. You know he's 74. But dude, it was obviously serious because they have, oh god, like my jewel leaked. God, jewel leaked. This is what a day, man. But they have doctors at the White House, and so for him to, one, for his image and everything, to go to the hospital was pretty serious. So I mean, obviously they're gonna do all they can to keep that guy alive. I don't think, people were wanting him to die. I think that's pretty pathetic thought to have. I don't think you should ever want that on anybody. You shouldn't wish bad on anyone. But yeah, that was man. I was just flipping the Twitter there, waiting for it. But I know, that would have been the most Shakespearean modern story that I have ever witnessed. I mean, the guy that disinformed or misinformed and acted in a way that led to the fucking, we're still dealing with this now, lack of leadership, lack of a lot of things, and then for him to get got by the thing that he's kind of been pushing off would have been spectacular. But then people, very Shakespearean. It would have been appropriate. It would have been the most appropriate thing to have happened of all time that I can remember, that I've been alive for. Maybe other than Osama getting it. That was appropriate. But I knew he was not going to die. Even, maybe he dies if this was like 5 months ago. But I knew that guy is like, no way am I dying. And there's some stories here or there that are saying he knew about this on Monday, went to the debate, and was just like, all right, he knows this on Monday. He's got, it's pretty ballsy, but the thought in the head is like, all right, Biden's even older than I am, and he looks worse. You can't really tell if Biden looks worse. He just looks like an old guy, whereas Trump looks like a orange potato with hair on it. I don't know. I don't expect Biden to make it through his first term, assuming he wins. I believe. I mean, Kamala Harris already referred to it as her own administration. So, yeah, it looks like he's getting out of the hospital. I believe that's probably a good thing. We don't need that to happen right now. God, can you imagine? But yeah, that's it for the podcast today. We'll check in on you next week. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later.